quick disclaimer before we start. We actually lost the first hour and 20 minutes of this conversation due to a very strange tech glitch. I closed my MacBook, opened it back up, and for whatever reason, the footage never uploaded to the cloud. What you are about to hear is the final 16 minutes. Why release just the ending of a podcast? Why indeed? Enjoy.
Can you
What's
hear me?
up? Yeah,
Are we back? Are we
we're
live?
back.
Man, I don't know what happened. I left and rejoined. So sorry.
So
Might have been
you
that
just
West Virginia
froze up.
internet.
It's that western mountains, that western mountain Wi-Fi.
Yeah, up in Appalachia, bud. Up in Appalachia.
Appalachia.
Have you yourself ever been to the state of West Virginia?
No, I don't think so.
No. You should come on through one day.
It never was on my radar. Like, oh, I think I should head over to West Virginia.
You know what? I get that a lot. I get that a lot. So not surprised by that. But we're gonna put West Virginia back on the map. That's
I
what we're
don't
trying
even
to
know.
do.
I know Virginia's huge. Oh, so it's in the West. All right, I got you.
There's a whole story behind that. Pretty much, as the story goes, it's like West Virginia stole this territory from Virginia. It was originally part of Virginia. It's a small state, man. I think it's only 1.7 million people in the entire state. You know, the biggest towns have around 75 to 110,000 cities, I guess
And
you
they're
could say.
spread apart far, right? Or no?
Far, buddy. I'm a salesman, so I travel around the whole state. So I have to download my media, my podcast to listen to before I leave the house, because if I get into a dead zone, it could be, hour and a half, 2 hours of driving of radio silence, which is
Gonna
kind of
have to
nice
hit
too, though.
Elon. Gonna have to hit Elon up.
I mean, Starlink, yeah, but I kind of like it though, man. I kind of like being able to detach because, I mean, I'm a component of it too. I mean, you probably have weeks where it pops up. You spent this many hours a day on your phone. It's like, but it knows me so well. It traps me in so fast. Like, like I'm doing this through my phone. So talking about all my favorite hobbies and favorite things to do selfishly, that's what it's going to be riddled with now. So it's going to get me even tighter
With
for the
more
next couple of
hobbies
days.
or more cell phone?
Yeah, more cell phone, because now I'll probably get archery videos. You know what I mean? Gals ripping it on
Well,
the
the
guitar.
algorithm's gonna focus in on you, and then you're gonna be trapped in a doom scroll, and then your brain's gonna be like, What am I doing?" And you
Yeah,
like pull away, and you like slap yourself, and you're like, "I get that."
dude. Like I think about this, like back to the dancing thing. Like I would learn dances that were 15, 20 minutes long. Like there were sections, and it's like a whole production thing. I'm like, I think to myself nowadays, I'm like, I wonder if I could access that part of my brain if I had to do it again.
Now with AI, I don't think we could. Yeah, because we used to play a game where we would like flap 1, 2, ball change in 3, uh, you know, snap on 4, and then do nothing on 5, and then just keep going to see how long we could make the run. I couldn't do that now.
Man, I mean, it's like I've even asked certain AIs to like write me a song about a certain subject and give me the guitar chords. I'm like, can you make those chords a little more complex? I'm like, can you add this and that? And it just like it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
So what kind of sales do you do? You performed until you were 30, and then you transferred over to more of like a
Yeah. So everyone always told me when I got off our last hurrah was I was in Chicago after college, after Busch Gardens, went to Chicago, was in a troop there. Lived in Chicago about 8-ish years, and then our last hurrah was a cruise ship. So we lived on the boat. And then after that, I got off the ship, nothing, no plans. I started selling cell phones for AT&T at the mall here. It was my first, like, technically corporate experience. And, with a dancing background and the discipline and the hard work, I was like, you're going to pay me this. You're going to pay me this much, and I could potentially make that much if I just stand here and just talk to people. It was like, I was just like thrilled by it. I'm like, this is, I have a little bit of money in my pocket now selling cell phones, and, waking up in bed and my knees aren't killing me. So it was a different transition there. And then, lady always came in the phone store, couldn't work her phone. I was like, "What do you do?" She's like, "I'm a pharmaceutical salesman." I said, "Really?" I was like, "What is that?" She explained it to me. I went home, started doing my research, and science, overall health of people, things along those lines, and pounded on doors years back. And I've been a pharmaceutical rep for coming up on like 12 years, man.
Awesome. Good
So
for you.
yeah, man, doing I'm in the cardiovascular space now. I've been in the respiratory space, behavioral health space, women's health space, GI, neurology, a lot, a lot. I've learned a lot. And that's really cool too, because in my world, you have to go to mini med school. So you have weeks and weeks of training and testing in order before you're able to talk to anybody about it. So it gets really intense at times, like, certain disease states, certain parts of the body, of course. I mean, there's thousands of pages of textbooks written on these subject matters. So, so you can't stop learning either though, to be the best you can at your craft. You always have, just like dance, man. Like you didn't just stop taking ballet class because you knew ballet. No, you have to keep taking it, to keep the knife sharp. So, I constantly listening to different informational things and YouTube lectures and things like that to know what's happening in the
Nice.
world of health.
So you have
Yeah.
to like go talk to doctors or talk to organizations?
All the above. Some days it's anybody who's willing to listen to me. But
It Sales is hard. There's
oh,
the
pressure.
the pressure, the gatekeepers. Like, how do you even get in contact with people now? There's so many ways to filter out sales calls, and
Man,
it's got to be hard.
man, it
It
is
was hard
very
for me.
hard. And you gotta, and in my world, you gotta be patient, like you got to be, it's a long, long game. And at the end of the day, I think people are just looking for people that are honest, normal, nice, and that they can trust you. They can trust that I'm not gonna come in there and hit them over the head and I need you. Will you do this? Will you do that? No, I'm just gonna I try to be a tool for them. I try to be a resource.
I'm
Hey,
a
you want to help?
sucker. I take all the sales calls because I feel bad for the people who are like trying to book the calls and they've like followed up with me like 17 times. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, you're on a list somewhere, buddy. I'm sure some type of data list their companies are pushing out. But and it's but like my world is a little misunderstood. The benefit, the only benefit that I offer is information to help people. That's really what it comes down to. Is there a sales aspect? Yes. But at the end of the day, you know, I really try not to ever feel like sales is sales if you just talk to people and you just, ask the right questions. And if they have a gap, you can help fill it. Really, you know. And Rich, if you have sales experience, buddy, it's the 80. It's a lot of it's the 80-20 rule. You know, 80% of what you do comes from 20% of what you see or who you see. So,
I was just talking about the 80-20 rule today because
man,
I'm re-listening to 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss.
I'm gonna have to check that out. It's 4 hour work
He
week.
dives into that, like the 80-20 rule. Like, this is how you're going to get more efficient and work only 4 hours a week. You're going to only concentrate on, the top 2% of what's moving the needle for you. 80% of your time is going to go into that. And then the other 20% of the time is going to go into the other 98,
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Like, if in sales, if you're doing what you need to do and things are hit, metrics are hit, you don't need to have a 20-hour a day job doing it. But I mean, look, they're talking. A lot of places
results.
are talking. Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to the results. Exactly, the merit you bring and the results you produce. You know. So that's what I've been doing. But hey, man, it's still performing in a way. Man, I was such an introverted kid growing up. That performing arts stuff like really blossomed my personality that was in there. That was like dormant. And now I feel like I can talk to anybody. You give me a microphone, there's a room of 500 people. I actually love that. If I'm comfortable and know the subject matter I'm speaking of, give me that microphone. Like,
Part
I kind
of
of thrive in
starting
that.
this podcast was to get more comfortable on camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was like, I want to be making more content and not just like my stupid videos that entertain my friends, but like if I really want to niche down in something, I'm going to want to make content. And I was like, I need to get more comfortable. And like you said, a hobby, I was like, how can I do something that's going to be fun? And then I was looking through a yearbook in my basement and I was like, what happened to that kid? And I couldn't find him on Facebook and I couldn't find him anywhere. I ended up finding his dad's email because he's a firefighter and
Wow.
reached out to him. And that's how I got this idea to create a podcast called 20-Year Timeout. I was like, if I could get people on a podcast, I'd be covering two things. One, getting over my fear of talking on camera. And then two, just producing some interesting content or what I think might be interesting, to all
Man,
my
I mean,
13 listeners out there.
hey man, what's cool though is like this just shows like we haven't had a long conversation in 2 decades, and there is the majority of this feels like I just talked to you yesterday, Rich. It really does. It's like that's phenomenal. Like just the human, like people that have impacted you that you remember that you had a good time with. The thing was positive. Like you just pick up where you left off. That's awesome.
Yeah, and every single person I've had on the podcast so far, I find myself doing like voice memos back and forth all the time, like, "Yo, what's up? I just saw you on Facebook," and just keep in contact. So I hope that we can do that from time to time.
Man, dude, listen, my phone is always open. We're gonna get you in the hills of West Virginia, have a pepperoni roll, which the state's famous for. Probably don't even know. Do you know what that is, pepperoni roll?
Nah, pizza roll.
Yeah, it's essentially just pepperoni wrapped in dough and baked, but there's different variations of it
I'm
here.
on
But
board for that.
it was created here. That's the West Virginia's claim to fame. That and John Denver. But
I don't get you up into Worcester or the Boston area. Get some. What's the typical Boston thing? They say baked beans, but that ain't even really a thing anywhere. Oh,
dude,
some like Coney Island hot dogs. They got like a chili sauce with onions and mustard. It's fire.
man, I was just thinking, it's just crazy that the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl this year. I couldn't believe it. Like, no, I didn't see that coming, and I'm like, of course, of all teams, as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan here, so
Hey,
there's a
that whole dynasty started a year before we were hanging out, and I'm sure everybody was like, "Oh, this Brady guy, he got lucky. It's his first year." Uh, no one could have expected what was about to go down for the next 20 years and all the hate and
wow. But I mean, he's evolved into like the most likable personality online out there. Like, I love listening to the goat talk. Like, I can listen to him all the time, and how his brain works is just fascinating. It's like, yeah,
he's
he
a
was like savant.
he's a giant human being too. I did a video where he was getting a haircut for charity, and I was like next to him for a lot of the time. And when he stood up and I was following him with the camera and I was like, "Later, Tom," he like dapped me up like quick, but like awkwardly because he's such a giant human that I was like, "Oh my God, he's so massive."
I mean, what's he like 6'6", 6'7", something like that? I mean, that's up there.
Giant. I don't know, just
The
like the
dude,
biggest human I've ever seen. And he just, is athletic.
man,
So it's wild.
yeah, yeah.
You're a
That's
Pittsburgh fan, I'm guessing.
Pittsburgh fan, man. We're building though. We're in the rebuild. You froze on me again.
What about,
Hold
you can
on.
hear me still?
I gotcha. You froze for a
Cool.
split second. Yeah, Pittsburgh
Well, it's
fan, man.
getting to be that time anyways.
It was a rough year for the Steelers, but we're building. Now that we reconnected, I'll talk smack to you throughout the football year. Send you a couple texts. Keep
I
in touch.
watched more Pittsburgh games this year than in years past just because it was interesting to see what was going to unfold.
Oh man, I bought a Rogers jersey this year. You know,
A
hopefully
lot
he's
of
coming
people
back.
bought a lot of people bought Mac Jones jerseys up here in New England, and now they all had to go buy their what's his
Drake
name's
May,
jersey,
baby.
Drake May.
Yeah, yeah. I think Drake May's probably there to stay for a while. You know, but
Who knows? You fold. They either succeed or you fold. It's like a tough. People you think are gonna go long term don't. It's just like it's year by year for sure in the NFL.
man, it's young people doing stuff that physical again, like what we used to do. I'd always say I'm one twisted ankle away from pivoting. You know, no pun intended. But
yeah, super awesome talking with you, man.
Rich, hey, anytime, man. Reach out, buddy. Stay in contact. Send me your stuff. I'll follow you,
Cool.
please,
Yeah, I will.
on
Yeah,
all the avenues. I'll share your content and spread
appreciate
the
that.
word.
What's the future? Well, you got anything going on in the future?
Man, nothing future, man. We just moved,
One day
with
at a
the
time.
kids and man, one day at a time. I'm just right now. Short-term goal is to get out of daycare payments, which is just short, about 6 months away. Um, I just transitioned to a new job, but it's just grinding, man. And just watching these new humans grow has been the best thing to experience. It's it's shifted to them now, so we're gonna try to help them follow their dreams and be here to support along the way.
Amen to that. Let's keep them healthy, curious, not angry, although they'll probably get angry at some point when they become teenagers. And yeah, keep the hobbies going. That seems to help with the positivity and the creativity. Gotta keep the creativity going, right?
Oh man, never stop. Listen, never stop moving. Try something new. Try something new. Um, I got some things on my list I want to try new, but we'll get to them.
Hell yeah, bro.
Rich, peace out, man. It's been an absolute pleasure, dude.
Tell I never met your wife, but tell her I say hi. And yeah, I'll take you up on some pepperoni rolls at some point in the future, maybe.
Sounds good, dude. Keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
All right. Peace, bro.
It's love, man.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this.